wonderful viewers, and welcome to another episode of Betty Adams Overanalyzes. Today we're going to take a look at something very, very interesting in Chapter 71 of Kaiju number 8. There will be spoilers up to and including Chapter 71. You have been warned, but when this video publishes, it will be the month of October 2022, and that means that my book, Humans Are Weird, Let's Work It Out, the third book in the Chronicles of Human Absurdity, will be on Indiegogo, so check out the link below the video if you want a good laugh. Now, let's go take a look at Chapter 71 and the fact that the eyes have it. So, what's going on here? Now, we all remember back when Captain Narumi was introduced, way back in the late 30s chapters, when after General Director Shinomiya gave Kafka that test that allowed him to prove himself and stay in the Defense Force, and, well, stay alive. Captain Narumi shows up after Kaiju number 8 has nearly beaten the General Director to a pulp. Captain Narumi gets into the room, comes into the room with his weapon activated, where two essentially Dai Kaiju are duking it out. So our first introduction is that this man has guts. He knows no fear, as you would expect from the captain of the First Division. Then he takes off his mask to reveal that that Matsumoto put a lot of thought and effort into creating one beautiful character here. So he's gorgeous. He comes in with that giant bayonet of his drawn and ready to take out Kaiju number 8 if Kafka hadn't gotten himself under control. And then we see those eyes, with his strange cross-shaped pupils. It's not until many chapters later that was revealed to be weapons number 1, a bioweapon that is fully integrated not only with Captain Narumi's eyes, but his mind as well, allowing him to see and react to Kaiju before they can. Then, later it's revealed to us that this was not a weapon that Kaiju number 9 knew of or understood, and that tells us so much. It tells us that Kaiju number 9 probably had nothing to do with the creation of Kaiju number 1, so it really does put a distinct time limit on when he was involved. The hints that we've gotten are that Kaiju number 9 was somewhat involved with Kaiju number 6, but was not involved with Kaiju number 1. Now, whenever we're talking about something that Kaiju number 9 knows, we have to take two elements into consideration. One, that he has been around for a lot longer than anyone knows. His presence was only revealed because Kaiju number 8 was there to counter him. Only when Kafka started mucking up his plans was the presence of Kaiju number 9 revealed, so we don't know how long he's been mucking around. 2, he forgets things if his partial bodies can't get back to the main bodies. His Kaiju number 9's bodies do have a weak Bluetooth power, essentially, to connect to each other, but they can't share data. The individual Kaiju number 9 bodies have to return with their memories to the sort of main memory area, wherever that is, or Kaiju number 9 forgets. So Kaiju number 9 forgot Kikoru, and any body that is destroyed completely down to its core is unable to transmit the memories back to the main body. So that's what we know. So it's possible that Kaiju number 9 did have some active participation in Kaiju number 1, and just everybody that knew that information forgot. But to have completely forgotten a power that important, that powerful, probably suggests that Kaiju number 9 just wasn't involved. So anyway, we have Captain Jin Narumi, captain of the First Division, overall battle commander of the entire Defense Force for the defense of the nation. For the defense of the world, really, because at this point, Japan is just the beachfront for the Kaiju era to overtake the entire world. So, big, powerful guy, and he has the ability to look out over a battle, analyze what's going on. Now, this is Captain Narumi's inherent ability. It's just what he's good at, but combat analysis. He's one of those men. You've had the sort of legends of these type of men that have been in literature for forever. If you read Agatha Christie novels, if you read Robert Service poems, they talk about the men who don't fit in, men who are reckless and careless and just wreak havoc during civilian life, but are worth their weight in gold during wartime, the first over the trenches and the first into battle. That's the kind of character that Matsumoto has crafted here. And he's given him the brain of a natural commander, the ability to look out over the battle, analyze. We're talking about Grand Admiral Thrawn level of analysis here. And then he's given weapon number 1, the ability to literally see what kaiju are thinking. And this manifests as his pupils turning into cross shapes. Four branches, up, down, left, right. Now, we actually get to see that again in Chapter 71. We get to see it in the monster that is attacking the National Diet Building of Tokyo. What's the National Diet Building of Tokyo? Well, if you look at the screen, I've put up an image of it. It's a central government building. And I just had some questions. When this attack happened, it's possible that certain government offices didn't evacuate. We know the military's out there, but if they know this is going to be a prolonged attack, if kaiju attacks are something they're useful, there might be like civil servants, emergency services who stay at their posts just like a military would, because this is just something they've got to deal with. But also, anybody who's not essential should be evacuating. And empty office buildings should not have a priority for protection. That's just kind of common sense. But when we get Captain Narumi talking with the central sort of organization center for the kaiju defense, they say that they mention the 3 main areas that were under siege in the Tokyo area. The area around the Chofu airport, which would be able to cut off their ability to bring supplies in and out, cut off their ability to retreat. So that is a logical military decision. Kaiju number 9, acting with the knowledge gained from Director General Shinomiya, would know that that would be a logical way to cripple them. The area around Oizumi Junction, major junctions, cripple their ability to move supplies. As much as you have these super weapons that allow massive mobility, the defense force is still a military. It still needs roads to get its trucks through, to get its supplies through. Beans and bullets have to be moved. You have to feed and arm your troops. You have to have roads to do that. Destroying roads, controlling roads is a critical part of any campaign. So far, so good. The kaiju are crippling the defense forces' ability to bring in new supplies and crippling the defense forces' ability to move within Tokyo. That all makes perfect sense. Then we get the weird bit. Then we get the thing that made me step and go, what? The third point that was a major siege was the National Diet Building, government offices. And these aren't just any government offices. These are like whatever Tokyo has instead of senators and congressmen and a president. This is prime minister level stuff, which for the purposes of making laws, they are very important for making laws, interpreting laws, whatever their actual jobs are. But this is not the kind of thing you do when the city is under a major siege. That building, perhaps, yes, as a psychological blow, Kaiju number 9 might have attacked it, but he wouldn't have, if he had Director General Iso Shinomiya's brain guiding him, if there weren't something in that building, he wouldn't have made a major push for it. And then again, why would the defense force be defending it? So what we have said here is that the area around the National Diet Building is under siege. The troops seem to be having the troops there seem to be having the toughest time out of all of our forces. And I don't know if that's saying the troops are in the National Diet Building or the area around Ozumi Junction, or referring to all 3, but it sounds like it's referring to all 3. So why would such a massive push be being made around the government buildings? Why would Kaiju number 9 want to attack that? Why would the defense force want to defend that? These are, for all intents and purposes, for any historical relevance it has, that is just a bunch of office buildings. Why are they being attacked? Why are they being defended? So it's, unless there was something there. So this is either going for an element, there is something super important under the Diet Building that the defense force has been hiding, which would be interesting. That could be a major plot twist. But there might be Or it's indicating that Kaiju number 9 is fighting this war now with the psychology of another human attacking force. Destroying a government building like that might be a massive blow to the psyche of the people of Japan. And the Defense Force might be defeating it on that grounds. It's still weird, though. But what was even weirder, remember, Captain Narumi of the Defense Force, wielder of weapons number 1, at least the one weapon that we know of that Kaiju number 9 had no knowledge of. The activation of which is symbolized by his eyeballs forming that crucifix-shaped pupil. Now, we have one of the kaiju that is besieging downtown Tokyo, one of those 3 major areas. Possibly the Diet Building, possibly the airport, possibly the junction. From the looks of the background, I can't tell which it is. There are trees, so it's possible that that is the Diet Building, but I don't know. But anyway, this creature, unlike all the rest of the kaiju we've seen in this attack, who all had very bestial animal-like faces, this one has an almost human-shaped face. There's no lips, the nose is very flat, and it's got hammerhead shark-like things coming out behind its jaw. But its face is very human, and its eyes are very human, and its eyes have those cross-shaped pupils. So, what's going on here? Why is a major kaiju that is sphinx-like kaiju with Captain Narumi's eyes attacking the Diet Building? What do you think? Why are the kaiju focusing on a bunch of empty offices? Why are the Defense Force defending it? And why is the kaiju that is giving the Defense Force the worst trouble, why does it have Captain Narumi's eyes? So what do you think? Leave your comments below. Tell me what you think. I'd love to hear. Hit that like and subscribe button. And for the month of October 2022, go check out my book, Humans Are Weird, Let's Work It Out, available on Indiegogo. Humans Are Weird, Let's Work It Out. Available on Indiegogo for the month of October 2022. Monty Python meets Star Trek in this 3rd book of human absurdity. This book joins its 2 siblings in a trilogy of human madness. You can find the first 2 books, author-signed first editions, at Indiegogo with book 3, or you can go on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever books are available to get your copies of the first 2 books. Humans Are Weird, Let's Work It Out, book 3 in the series, available on Indiegogo, October 2022.